10 South Park episodes that defined the 2000s. For much of the early 2000s, South Park on Comedy Central dominated the cable TV airwaves. Arriving in the late 90s, the controversial series was met with pushback from parents who found their kids watching it late at night or huddled together at sleepovers, chuckling. From there, it didn't take long for South Park to transform into a cultural phenomenon. The series built its reputation among young audiences for never being afraid to push boundaries. By the 2000s, South Park was known for being absurd and silly one week and tackling political and societal issues the next. The unpredictable nature of the show became part of the fun, and there are more than a few South Park episodes that helped shape the early 2000s. South Park tackles Lord of the Rings. Not even Peter Jackson's highly rewatchable The Lord of the Rings trilogy was safe from the South Park spoof. In the early 2000s, the world was consumed by the Lord of the Rings craze, and South Park always had its finger on the pop culture pulse. The series tapped into that energy and delivered one of its most hilarious and memorable parodies. Co-creators Matt Stone and Trey Parker have often cited The Return of the Fellowship of the Ring to the Two Towers as one of their personal favorite episodes. The parody is considered to be an homage by the duo, as they are both fans of the films. They specifically studied shots from the movies to incorporate into the episode. The Lord of the Rings parody is a perfect representation of South Park's reach in the early 2000s. It feels like a time capsule of the era. The episode set the stage for the pop culture finger-pointing that would go on to define the series in the years to come. Over 2 decades later, fans still point to this entry as one of the best all-time episodes. South Park challenges censorship via Comedy Central. South Park has never been shy when it comes to offending or testing the limits of the FCC. Whenever it hits the fan, aired in 2001, it quickly became one of the most infamous episodes at the time, and fans loved it. The entire reason for the episode was solely to test the limits of broadcasting standards. By the end of the story, those limits were thoroughly stretched. By the early 2000s, the show already had a reputation for being offensive and boundary-pushing, but this episode took that reputation and turned it into a full-blown challenge to the FCC. The entire plot revolves around the use of a single word that fans will be familiar with. While hilarious, it was also an example of South Park tackling larger issues.